Hello and welcome. This is the Where People Move show. Thank you so much for being here. Today we're going up to the North Bay, going up to the Bay Area, San Francisco, Berkeley, Oakland, all that good stuff. What's up, Too Short? What's up, Steve Curry? We got my man Grant Inaba today to tell us all about it. Hi, Grant.
Hey, how you doing, Jack?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It's wonderful.
Hey, right on. How's things up there? What's going on up there in the north, in the northern parts of Cal?
Yeah, right now everything's pretty crazy, actually. Ever since January 1st, everybody hit the ground running, and there's lots of home shoppers out there. I usually have a very busy December, but ended up being January was very busy for me, and it's actually just started to kind of relax a little bit. I think maybe
Really?
it's going to chill out until maybe March when seasonally things start to pick up, and I anticipate a pretty exciting year for 2020.
Right on. And so is that the predictions going on right now that you guys are still escalating up?
I think so. Yeah, it changes kind of week by week, and the press is kind of changing their message, bi-weekly or so. But I kind
Yeah,
of get the feeling I just can't see what's going to slow us down for 2020. It's just I think everything's kind of in alignment, and people are really starting to jump off the fence, both on the buyer side and the seller side.
all right. Well, real quick, this wasn't part of our questioning, but up there in like really higher end areas, um, how much do interest rate fluctuations? I'm assuming you see the difference more in a higher end area than you would on a 250,000 FHA deal.
You're talking about how much interest rates might affect the deal or affect buyers' activity or things like that?
That's a better way to put it. Yes.
Yeah, well, I think across the board it motivates everybody. It's a very, very big motivator. But definitely when you're talking about higher end properties, you're talking about probably jumbo loans with much more exacerbated interest rates. Any kind of discount you can get is definitely
Absolutely.
a good one, I think.
A half point on a couple $1 million place is significant.
Yeah, then you're talking about maybe thousands of dollars on your loan. So yeah, on your monthly.
Right on. So Grant, tell us, how long have you lived there in the Bay Area?
I've been up here since '99. I'm actually a California native from Southern California originally, but moved up here for I'm not quite sure which of the dot-coms it was, but it was in '99, and it was a pretty heated economy at the time. Tech was really, really just very exciting.
Yeah, they were just coming out with computers. I remember '99. That's when I first got licensed, but they were just getting to the point where they could do digital MLS. Like people were still talking about the book.
Yeah.
You'd have to like carry around an encyclopedia of listings that weren't up to date.
Yeah, yeah. And I was not working in real estate at that time, but I was observing what was going on in tech, and you were seeing a lot more just very, very well put together websites, and flash video and HTML was really well put together. So, by the time I got into real estate, around 2007-ish or so, everything was very, very fluid for the most part, or more fluid than maybe the book in 1999.
What were you doing before real estate?
I was working in film in Los Angeles, and then moved to the Bay Area to work in music, actually. And from there, got into a couple other different things, and then landed in real estate.
So now, because I lived in LA for a good 8, 9 years. So you did your time. Good
Yeah.
job. You get to go to heaven now.
Yeah.
Um, Dealing with actors, holy moly, they got to go through so many. It's worse than realtors with the rejections and all that. Oh my goodness, they're all nuts.
I kind of thought that, and that's actually was a big reason why I got out of film. I didn't want to deal with producers' egos or actors and things like that. And
So you
actually, I
got into
found
real estate. So you got into real estate to deal with realtors' egos.
exactly, yeah. Well, I found that actually every industry I worked in since then, it has its own personalities and challenges and things like that. So
Sure,
I might as well have just stayed in film.
absolutely. Yeah, you know what? We could have. You'd have done a better job filming this than me. Um, so you were there since '99. You started off in film and music and all that. When did you get into real estate?
I got into real estate around 2007 or so when I was thinking about buying a house myself, and was doing real estate investing, things like that, kind of getting my feet, I guess getting my foundation so I could be able to build the equity to own a house myself. And it was going pretty well. Was getting ready to actually buy my first house with a loan, and then I got laid off. I thought that it wasn't going to happen to me. I saw everyone else around it happening to me, and then all of a sudden it did happen to me. And the very last moment before I was about to get my keys, I had to call my real estate agent and tell him I got laid off and I couldn't do it. So
Oh, that was a heavy phone call.
it was kind of a shock. I didn't really know myself what I was doing too much, and I was leaning on my realtor in order to, kind of advise me throughout the way. And she said, well, is there any way we can kind of, keep this going? Can you get your HR department to let you tell the loan company that you're still employed? And
Fraud.
yeah, well, it ended up being that we couldn't do that. So of course,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh man. So that was in 2007 or so. And
Yeah.
so now, how many of those phone calls have you got from an agent or from a buyer?
I don't think since I started in 2011 doing sales, I can't think of any off the top of my head. I'm sure it's happening.
Wow.
But,
Good for
yeah.
you. Good
I got
for
lucky.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, people keep their jobs.
Mhm.
Right on. So now tell us, why are you in love with the Bay Area? I mean, I've been up there a few times and I've always had a fantastic time there, no matter what. And every city is different, like crazy different. San Francisco and Oakland, it's amazing to me that they're even next to each other. They're so different. And then Berkeley is different than anything ever. When people say keep Austin weird, you ain't been to Berkeley. Austin is so mildly eccentric at the best compared
Yeah.
to Berkeley.
Yeah. I in fact, actually, I kind of stay out of Berkeley. Every time I go to Berkeley, I seem to get in trouble by somebody. Everybody has a very, very strong opinion about everything.
You know what? They're preachers there. They preach for, whatever they think. They will they'll just pull up to a staircase and openly profess whatever is on their mind.
Exactly. Yeah. Berkeley's got a very strong history. Very proactive politically and socially, and I don't think that's ever going to change. But that definitely does attract a certain community of people, and I think that's a big reason why Berkeley is so popular to live. When we were looking at the last recession, the big one, San Francisco, I think, went down like maybe 5% in values, and Berkeley was right behind it. Everything else, Oakland and all the surrounding areas, I mean, it dropped as low as 50%, sometimes less.
50% in Oakland, man. Somebody got some good stuff.
Yeah, yeah, that was
Wow.
around 2012 or so. That was a great time to buy, and there was a lot of people jumping back into the market at that time. And there's still people, I think, able to see their rate of appreciation happening in the future and be able to jump on and buy a house themselves.
So now San Francisco and Berkeley didn't go down hardly at all. Do you think that's because they have a strong job market, and or because it's so popular, people want to go there?
I think it was a little bit of both. Yeah, people want to go there because of the jobs, and
Yeah.
people they don't remember that, or they don't realize, I should say, that San Francisco Bay Area is the capital of technology. It kind of started here, just like film is capital of Hollywood's the capital of film.
Yeah.
The Bay Area is the home of tech, and there's people from all over the world that are coming here and are work these high-level engineering jobs, and the money just trickles down from there. High salaries and medium rate salaries for engineers that are just starting out, and even blue-collar workers, they're getting a pretty good wage in order to be able to stay up here.
San Diego's the home of the flip-flop.
How's that?
We wear flip-flops.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Not flip-flop as in that and tacos. That's you guys that have technology and they can have movies, we'll have tacos.
Exactly, yeah. That sounds like a good one.
Right. Hey, let's get into the median home price up there. I'm sure you guys got a bunch of $300,000 FHA condos and stuff we could get into up there.
Yeah, those are pretty much BMRs now. There's not really too much of that price point, especially in the immediate San Francisco and Oakland area. You got to go further out towards. I actually have a team, and one of my teammates is helping out a client trying to buy a $300,000 condo in Antioch, which is about a 45-minute drive from San Francisco. So that's basically where the $300,000 condos are at.
Okay, so I mean that's a horrible commute, but that's that's a doable commute. I mean, people do that and more every day.
Yeah, and there's actually a pretty good transit system we have up here. There's a BART line, Bay Area Rapid Transit train line, and they actually built a brand new extension that goes out to that city, Antioch. So it's not as if it's impossible. It's a good way to, start some equity and, get yourself a solid foundation when you're talking about owning a home. Maybe you can step up into a smaller house without an HOA, and then from there, maybe a more legitimate 3-bedroom, 2-bath.
Absolutely. And then that $300,000 place will rent all day, every day because people can get to work.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah.
Nice.
And it's amazingly, it's surprising to me how quickly a lot of these step-up buyers are moving too. I've had clients I've helped in the last 4 years, and they're already stepping up into a larger house now.
Wow. I'm seeing down in San Diego, I'm feeling like people are holding on longer. Used to be a 7-year turnover. I feel like now it's twice that.
I've been reading that in the news lately too, but we don't see that too much up here. I think people are really eager to just get on with their lives. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not quite sure why.
Now, when you guys are inventing new forms of money, and you guys are smoking with $100 bills. So now down in San Diego, our median price is $590. Can you get something that's not out in the boonies that you have to take a transfer, a train, a helicopter to get back into town?
Yeah, our well, first off, there's pretty much nothing you can buy in San Francisco for that price. In Oakland, you're looking at very, very extreme entry level. Pretty much that's where prices begin at, especially for single family houses.
Okay.
When you're talking about condos, you can probably find something a bit cheaper, but for $500,000, that's basically where a single family house will start.
Okay. And now, is that flipped, or is that, man, you got to come and do your own remodel?
Yeah, that's usually flipped.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of my gauge, since I've noticed that most of my clients, they won't accept anything less. They want it to be completely done and ready to move in and turnkey.
That's, you know what? That's the standard that's set now, just like Starbucks. Now you got to have good coffee. And so, yeah, flipping has set a standard. It's even set it to the point where now the appraiser gives a crazy amount of value, or takes away a crazy amount of value for things that aren't flipped. I don't know if you guys seen that up there, but I see that a lot. And I'm going, are you kidding me? I don't think that remodel cost as much as you're valuing it for, let alone, a fairness kind of thing. So now, what did you say? I'm sorry. Did you ever say what the median price is up there? And I know you got 3 or 4 different areas.
Yeah, exactly. When you're talking about Oakland, the median home price is it's creeping up past $700,000, $800,000 or so. In San Francisco, it's definitely above $1 million.
Oh, yeah. And then Berkeley, you could probably get a house if you write a nice poem, or how does it work in Berkeley? a bag of unmentionables.
Yeah, Berkeley is super hot. Median home price is upwards or near $1 million as well. Berkeley, especially though, is seeing a lot of competition when we're talking about bidding and things like that. Usually multiple bidders, and that can really drive up the prices.
Are they getting more action than Oakland or San Francisco?
I don't know San Francisco as well as I do the East Bay, but Berkeley is definitely very, very hot. Anything that's turnkey, ready to move in a good location, we see it usually selling up above 30% over the list price. However, you know, the list price is
30%.
yeah, well, the list price, a lot of times listing agents, they'll intentionally list it low in order to generate a lot of attention.
Okay, everybody, listen to what Grant just said. This is a realtor ploy. And they'll brag to you that they sell houses a certain percentage over market or not over market value. They'll never say that.
Yeah.
Over asking price.
Yeah.
So people ask your realtor, "Por qué is my price so low?"
Yeah.
Because that realtor wants to move fast. Thank you for bringing that up, Grant.
Yeah, and it makes it very, very tough on the buy side too. When we're trying to advise our clients, they see it. Well, they're searching for a property at a certain price online, and they see something at whatever $699,000, and then we have to inform them that that's actually valued at $1 million. Show them the comparable sales in the area, and say, "Look, this is the actual offer. This is the actual amount you should offer."
Yeah, and that's another good point. People don't even look at the price tag. Let Grant run the comps for you, and then you'll know what it's worth, because tons of sellers will either underprice or overprice.
Yeah.
Don't look at the price. Grant will come up with a good price for you.
Yeah, you got to trust your realtor at that point, and it's hard to let go of control. But you know, if you're going to get a good deal, you better listen to your realtor.
And you got the money. You're always going to be in control anyway. Just take good advice.
Yeah.
So Berkeley's a hot area. Are there any other up and coming areas up there that you were like, "Hey, people, keep an eye on this. It's going to go nuts"?
Yeah, when you're talking about getting a deal or something that's really going to take off, you know, Berkeley is always going to be hot, so the appreciation is not going to be as good. It's going to be a steady investment, but when you're talking about really, really neighborhoods that are ready to take off, my opinion, Vallejo is one of them, and Hayward down to the very south as well.
How far are those outside the city?
Well, Hayward's really interesting because there's people coming in from every single direction trying to move into the area now. People had kind of deemed Hayward not to be a very desirable area, and you know, that could have been true in the past.
I've heard about it in rap songs.
Yeah,
That's the only way I know about it.
Yeah, well, there's people coming from across the bridge in the Menlo Park area, Silicon Valley, to live in Hayward because it's very close by. There's people coming from the South Bay, San Jose direction, because it's basically right down the 880 freeway. Now there's people coming from the east in Dublin Pleasanton. There's people coming from the north in Oakland. So everybody's converging on Hayward now in order to try and get a deal out there.
What do you think the attraction is?
It's proximity. Proximity to everything. Yeah, okay. It's a very, very nice short drive to basically any direction you want to go in the Bay Area.
Does BART go out there too?
There is a BART station there, yeah. There's a couple out there actually, so you can take the train as well.
Sweet. All right. So over the last 5 years, if you guys went up like straight up or like just 45-degree angle, what's been your appreciation over the last 5 years?
Oh, it's been straight up like a rocket. Yeah, it's been year over year. It's basically doubled in my opinion. You know, it's since 2012, it's pretty much quadrupled.
That's nuts. And then you guys didn't start off as like cheap. You guys were already heavy, you know, more expensive than most places in California.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, when the economy crashed in 2007, though, everything just, you know, dropped down to the floor. We're pretty much back at, you know, pre-recession prices, though, and above. So we've definitely made our money back and then some.
Yeah, us too. Not as much as you guys, though, but maybe percentage-wise. Okay, so now you said this year you predict it's going to still go crazy. What do you think over the last 5 years? Is there any slowing this monster?
Well, 2019 was kind of a crawl, honestly. That's the slowest I've seen the market since I started in 2011. Everything since then has just been, you know, just like we're talking about, very, very competitive. Everything aggressively priced and aggressively selling, and
yeah, me too.
I'm not quite sure what happened in 2019. I felt like everyone was just kind of losing gas, or
I feel like there was a lot of sellers just, I'm not gonna sell yet, and I feel like there was a lot of buyers with their middle finger up. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to get involved in. I got $500,000, and you guys are jerking me around and countering me when I'm coming in at full price. And so I felt like a lot of people were just like,
Yeah.
"Nah, I'll wait.
Yeah.
I don't want to play that game." And so
Yeah.
between the both of them, I had a slower year too.
Yeah, it was very stagnant, and I couldn't really get too much going, to tell you the truth. It was might have been that was the best time to take a vacation.
I took a couple, you know, a little here
Yeah.
and there. Right on. Well, Grant, for people who want to move up to the Bay Area, or if they want to move out of the Bay Area, how do people get a hold of you?
Well, you can always find me on social media at Grant Good Agent. It's pretty easy. I'm across Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, all
LinkedIn.
those places, LinkedIn. I like to use social media a lot in order to connect not only with my clients, but also with other realtors across the country. Of course, you
That's
always
how we
find,
met.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, through Spotify, actually. I had created a real estate playlist. It was all songs about real estate, and I was kind of looking for, other ideas and things like that. And that's how I came across your podcast.
Oh, you came across it on Spotify?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, you're the one. We've read about you. You're famous around here. Right on.
Yeah.
One more time with how people get a hold of you.
Oh, you can always call me, 415-992-2330, and then email me, of course. You can always find my real estate activity on my Zillow profile, as well as my Compass real estate profile. That's a brokerage I belong to. Basically, just Google my name. You should be able to find it pretty easily.
And it's Grant Inaba.
Yeah.
And again, you guys can find him on all the social media. And what was the at Great Agent?
At Grant Good Agent.
At Grant Good Agent. This is great anyway. Again, Grant, thank you so much for taking time to do this. Your extra knowledge on the Bay Area, man, what a ball. What a great time.
Thanks so much for having me. It was great to share that knowledge.
Right on. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Next show will be somewhere in America. Have a good one, and God bless.